Okay, guys. So, I know I'm late. I apologize about that. We were we were eating supper there. We'll give people a minute to come in. I'm gonna I'm gonna set the tone here for our spooky chat. Just a second here, guys. Oh, I see my camera is terribly out of focus too. And why is that? Hopefully it looks in focus now. Well, so we'll give everyone a moment to get in here. Oh, man. It's still out of focus. Sergeant Pendigod, Pend- Pengudo. Either you're censoring your face or it's out of focus. Demon, I know. I'm trying to fix it. It doesn't look out of focus in OBS is the problem. And no, I'm not censoring my face. Why would I do that? I'm on some kind of some kind of watch list.
Lizard.
Let me. Camera looks out of focus there too. Just a second here. Hopefully no one notices. Demon, what in the world am I doing here? The real question is, what kind of camera am I using? I know I've got an app on my computer for it. Oh, Logitech. Okay. And it shows out of focus here too. What in the world, man? Really? Okay. So did that fix it? I just turned off the autofocus and turned it back on. Yeah, thank you, Ramsey. You're a dust speck. Thank you, guys. All right. So, Demon, you're the only one here so far. Thanks for the heart, too, Big Ramsey. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Tonight, we're just going to tell spooky stories. Okay? So, Ramsey, if you want to stick around. If not, it's cool. I'm going to set the theme. Oh, YouTube finally connected. Look at that. Slow as always. I hope no one was in those chats because I wasn't paying attention. Jessica Farcour was in the chat and I didn't realize it. Lizard. Okay. All right, guys. So, we're going to talk about spooky stuff. And Demon, I really don't want you to be the only one here either. I wish other people were here, but it's okay. I know that I was a little late. I'm gonna be late to my own funeral one day. So, what do we want to do, Demon? Do we want to wait a minute for other people to show up, or do we? I think the problem is that I'm not displaying anything over on TikTok. Let me see. Chado. Which Chado? I don't know what Chado is. Hey there, Angel. Wait, that's not Angel. That's Angle. Yeah, that's Angle. Hey there, Angle. And Dylan, what does Chado mean? I don't know exactly what that means. So, we'll and yeah, hopefully they'll start rolling in. Hopefully they will. I know it's Friday night, people do stuff, but I'm gonna set the mood here for our spooky stuff. Just a second. All right. So
Incoming at break.
we'll do this right here. Except I want to skip that. Hopefully you're able to hear that, Demon. You're not able to hear that. Why are we not able to hear that? I just bout the katana. Whoa, what is Yes, I love Demon Slayer. Destiny, thank you. You just bought the katana? Oh, I am jealous. Yeah, crackling fire. You can hear that? You can hear that, Demon? Like a, campfire? I hope you can hear it. Because it doesn't show that you can. Sweet, thank you. Alright. So, guys. Destiny, if you want to stick around. If not, it's cool. And got the sharp blade put on the wall. Nice. Nice. Check Katana Us, man. Check Katana Us. Is that like a store? US? Katana US? Oh, Katana.us. I'm not gonna lie, Destiny. I've got a fear of losing fingers. So, I don't know if I'll buy one. Plus, I've got this weird thing about committing seppuku, to restore honor to my family. And I just feel like if I had a katana laying around, it would just make things way too easy, Cairo! Yes, wooden katana. I would be less likely to disembowel myself with a wooden katana. Alright. Downvote. Seppuku. Come on, that was funny. That was totally funny. Thanks for following, Destiny. I appreciate that. Hey, if you want to stick around, I'd love you to. We're going to tell some spooky stories. Or I'm going to tell some spooky stories for the next 2 hours. We're going to talk about stuff and things. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll give you a follow, too, after the stream. So, I promise I will. Follow for follow, baby. So, guys, and Cairo shared the live, too. I just saw that. And she also liked the live. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, guys, today we're going to talk about spooky stuff, okay? So, what are y'all's thoughts on... Shut up, Gretchen. That's a username. You got family over? Okay. Well, it's cool. It's awesome, Destiny. Don't worry. Check TikTok messages. Where's my phone, Cairo? Just a second. Or maybe I can pull it up on my computer. Just a second here. Oh, look at that. I can. Awesome. Okay. Oh, wow. This is a story. Okay.
Welcome Johan underscore.
Oh, Cairo, I'm sorry. I just saw that you sent that earlier. I apologize. I apologize. But yeah, it's always alright if you send stuff on my TikTok. That is perfectly fine. Okay. Hey there, Elia? Aaliyah, I think. Mr. Nice Guy just called. Hopefully Mr. Nice Guy can hurry up and get here. Okay. So, guys. Okay. I wish I could... Oh, I hate that I have to send that way. Okay. Alright, guys. So, we'll tell Cairo's story first. Alright. So, let me get it pulled back up here. Okay. So, this is called The Woman with the Red Eyes. Alright? So, I hope... Oh, Pernicious, thank you for following, and I really appreciate that. Miss Mandalore, thank you for joining. Alright, so guys, this is going to be... We're going to continue on with our... Predicus. Predicus. Okay, Predicus. Thank you. Yeah, I apologize. I have a 3rd grade education, and I also don't know how to read. So, you know, I appreciate you letting me know. So, Predicus, we are gonna tell spooky stories. Cairo, which is she's a follower, she sent in a story for me to read, and I'm gonna be looking at my other screen. So guys, please don't think I'm crazy, but let me turn my microphone around. Give me just a second here. I should have prepared.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
in my stupor, I unplugged my microphone. Adon! Yes. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Thank you, Demon. Yep. Sorry about that. In my dumb moving my microphone around, I unplugged myself. So, hey there, Kirsty. I'm about to start a story that was sent in by Cairo. Okay? And I'm going to move this over here. Hopefully, y'all, no. I want to be able to tell the story. So, you guys just can't see it. There we go. That's better. Much better. Okay. I'm going to take a shower. Okay, Kirsty. Oh, no. I meant that I was dumb because I was moving my microphone and unplugged my microphone. Ooh, Aaliyah, I hope you sleep tight. I know it's late. Kirsty, 10 minutes. All right, we can wait 10 minutes, I suppose. I can wait 10 minutes as long as Demon doesn't mind. I know you're not the fastest typer in the world, Demon. So, I'll come up with something. So, oh yeah. Aiden, you be right back, man. We're just here waiting on everyone to get here. So, in the meantime, for anyone who would like to type in a message, tell me about your day. Like, what did you do? What was the highlight of your day? I know it's Friday. There's got to be, like, some awesome things people did. Like, got out of work early. Join the live. I did join the live. I'm part of the live. What are you talking about? Oh, that was your exciting thing. Okay. I'm a blonde. Okay? I'm a blonde. Join the live. I am part of the live. I'm hosting it. Yeah. So this is the most exciting part of your day. Well, Vehicular, I hate to tell you, but we're going to be waiting here a minute. We're waiting on Kirsty and we're waiting on the Dawn to get back. Cairo did send in a message.
Welcome
Tech
to
Tight.
Tight 777.
We haven't started yet. We're still waiting on everyone to get in here. But we're hopefully it won't be that much longer. Cairo did send in a story that she wants me to read. With a pretty cool dude. Oh, you know how to make a lady blush. I appreciate it, Demon. I do, man. I really do. Alright. So, oh, man. I was going to say something. I totally forgot what it was. Totally forgot. Absolutely. Horrible. Anyway. So, what are y'all's thoughts on, like, the afterlife while we're waiting on people to get here? What are y'all's thoughts on, like, the afterlife? Just spooky things and superstitions. Like, what's something that you for sure believe in that would be considered taboo by most? Yo, Tylea! Welcome to the stream. We're talking about spooky stuff tonight. I hope that's the stream title on YouTube. I haven't checked. It is Spooky Night. Good. Very good. I wonder if I can... Like, what would be a spooky color for LEDs? I think red's kind of spooky, but, you know... I just don't know. I wish that I could get it to vibe with the audio, though. That would be nice. That'd be super nice. But Vehicular, did you get your machine fixed last night? Red. Tylea, oh, you think red? You think red is would be a spooky color that would, you know, set well with the theme? I hope so. I hope so. I can do any color. Nice crackly sound. Yes, it's, well, I'm supposed to be telling stories right now, but I'm waiting on everyone to get back, because Adon said that he would be right back. Kirsty said to give her, oh, she's back. Okay, all right. Well, Adon can come in the middle of the story. Okay, all right, guys. So it's story time, right? We've got this story, and y'all can just sit here and look at my background. Yeah, Fireside Online Chat. I'm the FDR of the streaming era. The Fireside Chats. All right. So let me get this pulled up here. If you prefer looking at me, oh, I bet you do. You naughty, naughty boy. Okay. All right, guys. So this is called The Woman with Red Eyes. Okay. Talia, we ready to go? I'm ready to go. No, Kirsty. I just wanted to make sure you could hear the start of the story. I just want to make sure everyone's ready to go. And don't worry about it, Kirsty. Okay? Don't worry about it. Don't say sorry. I wouldn't have waited if I didn't want to. Okay. So this is called The Woman with Red Eyes. Okay? A lot of strange things started happening when I first moved in with Mr. Nice Guy. At first, it was just sleep paralysis. Those awful moments when you're awake but can't move, can't speak, can't scream. He used to have to shake me awake, sometimes even hit my leg or elbow my side, just to snap me out of it. But one night still haunts me more than others. I was trapped in another episode, completely frozen. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a woman standing on the left side of our bed, right where the door was. She wasn't solid, more like a silhouette, a shadow with long hair. But her eyes were glowing red, like they were burning into my skin. I tried to look at Mr. Nice Guy, hoping he'd notice something was wrong. Normally I could at least make a little sound, a whimper, a yelp. But this time nothing. My jaw wouldn't move. I could only breathe harder and harder, trying to make enough noise for him to wake up. The woman kept getting closer. Then she reached out and grabbed my left arm. The moment her hand touched me, a shock of heat spread through my skin. I finally managed to let out the tiniest of sounds, and Mr. Nice Guy woke up. Red Eyes' demon. It could be, Tylea. I don't know yet. I've read just as much of this story as you've heard. But we'll find out if it's a demon in the end. I don't know. Sleep paralysis is it's only happened to me just less than a handful of times, but it's a terrifying thing. Alright. So, then she reached out and grabbed my left arm. The moment her hand touched me, a shock of heat spread through my skin. I finally managed to let out the teeniest sound, and Mr. Nice Guy woke up. He started shaking me, trying to wake me from whatever was happening, but she wouldn't let go. Her grip tightened. He had to hit the side of my leg hard, and that's when I finally snapped
Incoming
out of
at
it.
break.
I woke up drenched in cold sweat. My whole body was freezing, except for my left arm. The one she had grabbed. It was burning hot to the touch, with a red mark right where her fingers had been. From that night on, it wasn't just sleep paralysis anymore. It started happening during the day. Little things, strange noises, windows moving, or shadows moving where they shouldn't. I feel like that night was the moment something started to wake up. Something that had been waiting for me all along. Oh, that's a good story. Huh. I need part 2. We should do this. I like this. I like stories. Alright. So, what's the takeaway from that story? Exactly. So what's the takeaway from that story? Like, have y'all ever had any experience with sleep paralysis? And if so, have you seen any odd things during it?
Did you know you can pet me?
Shut up,
Check out
Jeff.
the
We're
Pet
talking.
Cafe.
Yes, Cairo, I did. I just read your story. You missed it. Your audio's back. I'll be more than happy to reread the story for you. I did. Yours is the first spooky story. Alright, so TechTite says, never had it, but definitely seen some weird stuff at night. Mainly shadow people. Bro, me too, man. So, okay, alright. So, Kara wants us to read it again. I don't mind as long as you guys don't mind. I'll read it. Okay. Wait. Alright, I'm waiting. You just sent me one. It says, the woman with red eyes. You stayed up 14 days straight and you saw... See, the shadow people, man. The shadow people are... I could go... I knew what I meant to do. I meant to wear a tinfoil hat for tonight's stream. I knew I was forgetting something. I knew I was forgetting something. A tinfoil hat would have been like the cherry on top. Go get some foil, bro. Yeah. Tinfoil is for aliens. No, tinfoil, well, you're right. Crucifixes are for basically everything else. Tinfoil is also to keep the FBI out of your head, too. There was that one time I fell asleep at the field agent's office. And now, for some reason, I can hear a buzzing coming from my bottom molar. You've walked through a shadow person before. Oh, wow, this next one's kind of longer. Okay. No worries, Cairo. No worries. Alright, so guys, we'll continue this. I'm going to read the first one again for Cairo, and then I'll respond to any messages or whatever, and then I'll read the second one. Okay. The woman with red eyes. A lot of strange things started happening when I first moved in with Mr. Nice Guy. At first, it was just sleep paralysis. Those awful moments when you're awake but can't move, can't speak, can't scream. He used to have to shake me awake, sometimes even hit my leg or elbow my side just to snap me out of it. But one night still haunts me more than others. I was trapped in another episode, completely frozen. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a woman standing on the left side of my bed, right where the door was. She wasn't solid, more like a silhouette, a shadow with long hair. But her eyes were glowing red, like they were burning into my skin. I tried to look at Mr. Nice Guy, hoping he'd notice something was wrong. Normally, I just Normally, I could at least make a little sound, a whisper, a yelp. But this time, nothing. My jaw wouldn't move. I could only breathe harder and harder, trying to make enough noise for him to wake up. The woman kept getting closer and closer. Then she reached out and grabbed my left arm. The moment her hand touched me, a shock of heat spread through my skin. I finally managed to let out the tiniest sound, and Mr. Nice Guy woke up. He started shaking me, trying to wake me from whatever was happening, but she wouldn't let me go. Her grip tightened. He had to hit the side of my leg hard, and that's when I finally snapped out of it. I woke up drenched in cold sweat. My whole body was freezing except for my left arm, the one where she had grabbed. I was burning hot to the touch, and a red mark where her fingers, with a red mark right where her fingers had been. From that night on, it wasn't just sleep paralysis. It started happening during the day. Little things, strange noises, shadows moving where they shouldn't. I feel like that night was the moment something woke up. Something that had been waiting for me all along. Oh, one sleepy girl said, white bean chicken chili with onion puree. That sounds delicious. One sleepy boy is very lucky. That really does sound good. White bean chicken chili. Okay. But tonight, one sleepy girl, we're talking about scary stories. I just read, Cairo sent me 2, and I just read the first one. Yeah, I turned a corner in my house, and there was a shadow figure around the bend at the bottom of the stairs. See, the shadow people that I've seen personally in real life, not like in TikTok videos or YouTube videos, things like that, but the shadow people that I've seen personally have always, you've seen them out of the corner of your eye, out of your peripheral, but as soon as you go to look dead at them, they just disappear. It's almost as if they were never there at all, but you know they were. Because you can feel them looking at you, you know? So I've never had the chance to fully see one, like, dead on like that. But even when I look at them, I still get the feeling that I'm being looked at. Fairly tall. Yeah, the ones that I've seen have been tall too. Mr. Nice Guy says that was a true story. I believe you. I would never doubt you, bro. I feel like that was a true story. So, this was around the time my brother took a door handle from an old prison in Dubuque. It looks like there's supposed to be a second message, so I'm just waiting on the second message. I didn't mean to pause mid-sentence, guys. But I'm glad to see you made it home safely, Mr. Nice Guy. Darker than dark itself? Exactly. Like, it's really hard to explain. You get sleep... Whoa. I've only had sleep paralysis just a few times. Thank you, Darth Atlas, for following, man. I really appreciate that. You just joined and you popped in and decided to follow. That's great. We're just sitting here talking about spooky stuff. We're having talking about spooky pookies, stuff like that. But yeah, I've only had sleep paralysis like less than a handful of times. Like, and I can't remember if there was anything else in the room with me when it happened, when these things happened. because truly, you know, you can't move. So, but I don't know. I don't know what to think of sleep paralysis. The logical side of my brain says that all it is your body waking up, or your brain waking up from REM sleep faster than what your body can wake up. You know, so it takes your body a second, a minute, for it to actually come to life, so to speak, from REM sleep. Because at REM sleep, literally the only thing that's active are your involuntary movements and your brain. Your involuntary movements is going to be like your heart beating, your breathing, and stuff like that. So the logical side of me tells me that's what it is. And our brain just, you know, about my stepdad, allegedly. I like how you had to put allegedly there. I've, so with possession, personally, I've never, because you wasn't there when it happened. I get that. Personally, possession, I believe in possession. However, I also know that people fake things to get attention. I know that some mental illnesses can manifest themselves in ways that people who don't so much believe in mental illnesses will think that the person's possessed, you know. And there are some mental illnesses like extreme schizophrenia or you know, other mental illnesses that deal with delusions of grandeur and things like that. People will think that they're possessed because they just say some of the most off the wall stuff, you know. Feel like a herd of elephants laying on you? Yep, that happens too. That's because your muscles in your chest aren't awake. It's just your lungs. So your lungs are having to work against the tightness of the muscles in your chest, basically. Alright, so just a second here. Vehicular says, I'm pretty sure the prison was haunted to do things that happened. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, old places like that are gonna hold energy, especially depending on the, you know, the types of people that are housed in the prisons and stuff, you know. Like, I like to think that people change over time, but rarely do they, as you know, as far as prisoners go, as far as those kinds of people do. So they're harboring those horrible energies, those horrible feelings for years and years. And that, I can only imagine that only negatively affects, you know, the area, right? So I get that. One time I was deep in the forest hiking around, corner of my eye saw a woman, long hair, almost 1880-ish, white black dress. She was standing in the thick of the trees, blinked and was gone. Got the biggest... And that's possible too, man. Like, witches... So, I don't believe in how people portray witches today, as far as, like, you know, the people that ride brooms and whatnot. I don't believe in witches in that aspect, but I believe in witches that mess around with the pagan aspects. And I say pagan in the ignorant sense of I don't know what other term it would be. As far as your, you know, earth spirit worshiping and stuff like that. My wife used to be really more in tune to stuff like that, and I don't know enough about it, really. But I do believe in those kinds of things, like your hoodoo and stuff like that. You know, voodoo is the religion and hoodoo is the practice. You know, so I believe in those kinds of witch doctors and things wholeheartedly I do. But as far as people riding around on brooms and, stuff, I don't believe that. Like the Salem witch trials, I don't think any of those women were witches. I think what it was, just men didn't get their way and said, hey, she knows how to count to 3. And they threw her in the water to see if she would, sink or float, basically. Was said to have... Your stepdad was said to have scared away half a dozen pastors and priests. Huh. Well, Cairo, it's, there's that whole thing is said, like if no one witnessed it and no one witnessed it or spoke about it, and it was just like an oral telling. Personally, I wouldn't hold no salt with it, but that's just me. I love a story, though. I do love a story. I love to embellish things. Your jail is haunted. People have died. Personally speaking, I don't think death is what makes a place haunted. I think that, mass hysteria, basically. I really feel like the Salem witch trials was like, people were scared of witches, of the women, because they were like doing the herbal healing and stuff like that, She gave me peppermint and it took my headache away, Crazy. Throw rocks at her, I think it was basically a lot of stuff like that. But as far as, a place being haunted, I don't think that death is, a major aspect of a place in what, it's going to be haunted or whatnot. Because as far as and this is going to get into my own personal story, but as far as I'm aware, there's been no one that's died in my house. But my house has some pretty odd things that happen. And we'll talk about that later. I've still got Cairo's second story to read, too.
Incoming ad break.
So just let me know when you guys are ready, and I'll read that. They knew math. I agreed. Math is witchcraft. Like, some math is witchcraft. 2 + 2 = 4. Hey, how do you get there? It's crazy, right? So you don't know if it is true or not? And the Bible says we go to sleep. You talking about when you die, you go to sleep, Mr. Nice Guy? Demons sitting on G, waiting on O. That's exactly how my wife, not per se exactly how she believes, but I do believe that a lot of the things that we experience in the world, a demon or some kind of spirit has its hands in it. So we'll read Kirsty's comment, and then we'll check out the second story here. When I was in Spanish, my teacher had the door cracked, and it was slightly moving back and forth, and me and my friends noticed it. And when I saw a black shadow zoom across the window in the door, see, and that's what I was going to get at with like prisons and stuff, death, hospitals. It's the energy of the area that affects if it's going to be that air quote haunted or not, right? So, getting 3. Are you talking about the 2 + 2 thing? Getting 3 would have been normal, yeah. But yeah, that's what I was saying is that, oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit
Hang on,
card.
guys.
their debit card.
This is terrible.
The gas pump. or the
Just ignore that. That was normal. That's normal things that happen at a campfire. Alright, the debit cards. Vehicular, I am sorry, bro. I am sorry. Yeah, that is true. Campfires will probably have ads sooner or later. But vehicular, I'm going to go ahead and start this second story because it is kind of long. So we'll be here for a few minutes reading this thing. The FBI agent didn't approve of it? Exactly. Exactly. I did find out today that Demon is not my FBI agent. His 4-hour job is not combing through my search history. So that's good. I worry about that too. Ooh woo. Hey. Hey. We allow that kind of talk here. Ooh woo. Yes, Kirsty, I hope you have a wonderful time watching TV. Hey, if you want to stop back by, you know, I'd love to have you. If not, I hope you have a wonderful night too and get some rest. Wait, Kirsty, before you go, how was your test today in school? Did you do good? If you're still here, I hope you are. I really got to do something. It would be more than 4 hours. I haven't cleaned out my search history, and I haven't cleaned out my browser history in probably 6 years. The cache on my Google Chrome is screaming at me right now. But it'll be screaming at me from the depths of hell too. I'm trying to set a record. Got all 100s? Awesome. Awesome, Kirsty. I don't know if you ever seen Beetlejuice or not, but this is where we would all have the football team. Shake, 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 Sonora. You know? We would just put the record on, and we would celebrate for you. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start this other story. Demon's getting impatient. I can feel it. Alright. The humming in the hallway. As the months went by, the sleep paralysis episodes grew more aggressive. But it wasn't just happening at night anymore. During the day, strange things began to catch my attention. One afternoon, I was alone inside the house. Everyone else was outside doing yard work, and I stepped in to make lemonade for everyone. The house was eerily quiet. Lock in, boy. Alright, Grind, I see you over there. House was eerily quiet. The house was eerily quiet. Too quiet for the middle of the day. We live in a big house, so normally you can't hear much. But that day I could hear everything. The hum of the AC, the buzz of the electricity in the walls, even the faint creak of the floor beneath me. I started cutting lemons and limes, and I remember setting the heavy metal lemon squeezer on the counter. I turned around to grab the sugar, and suddenly the squeezer flew across the kitchen and slammed into the stove, hard enough to almost crack the glass. I froze. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe the AC kicked on, maybe the air blew it off. Maybe the air blew it off the counter. But how could air move something that heavy? It wasn't paper or plastic, it was solid metal. Whatever pushed it, threw it. That was one of the harshest moments of activity I've ever experienced, but it still wasn't the worst. One night, Mr. Nice Guy and I were home alone. The family had gone out to a party, and we decided to stay in. We didn't have kids yet, so we could stay up late watching funny videos on the TV. Then we heard it, a woman humming in the hallway outside the door. At first, I thought maybe my mother-in-law had stopped by, but there was no car lights, no sound of tires, no footsteps, just the humming. I got up and walked toward the door. As soon as I reached the handle, the humming stopped. Then, without warning, it starting again, louder, clearer, right on the other side of the door. It sounded like a lullaby, the kind a mother would hum to her child, but slower, twisted, wrong. I jumped back onto the couch, my heart pounding out of my chest. Mr. Nice Guy didn't move. He doesn't like to acknowledge these things. He says doing so gives them power. Exactly. He just sat there pretending nothing had happened. It was like he was used to it, but I wasn't. Things only got worse from there. We started praying together, desperate for peace but at first, it only made the presence angrier. The activity grew stronger, more frequent. It wasn't until we began going to church regularly, truly dedicating ourselves to faith, that things began to change. We got baptized. We stopped drinking, stopped doing substances, stopped partying. We even stopped celebrating Halloween and watching horror movies. Now, those last two, you ain't got to do those crazy things. Like, the horror movies are the fun things in life, guys. These things I'm sharing with you are deeply personal, and here I am telling them to everyone watching. Are deeply personal. I'm not telling them to glorify or encourage fear, but to show faith in Christ delivered us from something dark that had taken root in our home. Even now, I still get sleep paralysis sometimes, but it's different. It's weaker. I don't need anyone to hit me awake anymore. When it happens, I just start calling on the name of Jesus, and the paralysis breaks. It's still a struggle, still a daily battle, but I know now, through Christ, we have the strength to overcome anything. And we do. We do. Mr. Nice Guy says, I live here, bro. I stay strapped in my own home. That's pretty good. You gotta, and not meaning to be insensitive or anything, but you've got a cross ready to pull that bad boy out, right? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And you just quick draw that cross. I'm just trying to be funny, not make fun of. So, just to clarify. So, that one was actually a little bit more, honestly, the humming thing. I've heard stuff like that too. So, I'll give y'all a minute to reply because I know it takes a minute for everyone to type, and I get that. Vehicular, thank you for liking. I appreciate that. Thanks for liking the live, man.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jeff.
I'm strapped in my bed. Where's the game, boy? Grind. We're not doing a game tonight. Yes, this is a chit-chat stream, Grind. You're 14. You can do without the games every once in a while, okay? Just chill with the adults. We're telling scary stories right now. Okay? Do you want me to put some cartoons on in the background? Will that help you? One day I'm a pet Jeff so hard. You know, in all reality, I really like Jeff. I just wish he would shut up sometimes, you know? Reminds me of a clip. What kind of clip, Cairo? More like mumbling and chatter? Yeah. I mean, I don't mind reading. I'll add that to my note, though. Hey, I'll listen and watch everything with subtitles anyway, so I don't mind reading. If you don't mind, Cairo, I'm going to reply to that message that you sent me with that, just so I have it there. That way when I go watch TV with the wife, I can look that up too. Alright. So. Grind. I ain't no 14. I got bills to pay, says Grind. Yeah, but Grind, you've also told me that you were 67 one time, and then you told me 56. And then the first time I met you, you told me you were 14. I just think you're trying to confuse me. I'm pretty sure that Chris Hansen is on the other end of this account, and he's just trying to get my attention. When I watch paranormal movies at home, I got my front door getting slammed hard like some madman. Bro, so my wife and I we try to, she tries, she does, I try to stay away from like spooky stuff on the TV and whatnot, because you invite that stuff into your home. It's like a gateway, so to speak. So get some Subway Surfers on the slide up in this biz. Grind, how about you tell me about spooky stuff that you've had happen in your life? Or tell us, I should say. We're all watching. I am Hads. No, I am Hads. Hello there, Hads, though. They're Benjamin Button. Yeah. As you were getting ready to go to sleep, I've had stuff like that happen before too, man. But no ghosts or demons. I get that too. Yeah. Well, I don't believe there are portals and everything, Caro, because like if you go looking under every rock for a demon, you're going to find a demon. So if you go looking somewhere expecting to find a demon, your brain is going to make a demon out of it. Out of everything. So I don't necessarily believe that. But, I'm not telling you my IP. Hey, no. Your intellectual property or your internet protocol. Because I'm always hungry. I think that's called worms. Vehicular. Have you been wormed lately? But guys, we're getting off track. This is spooky stuff. Alright. So, you guys get me sidetracked. So, the place that I grew up at, is a little town in Alabama. I still live in a little town in Alabama, just a different little town. So, imagine it's a dirt road, right? At nighttime, it is dark. Like, so dark. We're talking about, like, dark to where you can't see 5 feet in front of you dark. Okay? Hey there, Brandon. Welcome back to the stream, man. Welcome back. We're just in the middle of spooky stories. And I completely agree, Caro, except I think that demons can come into your house without your invitation. But I think that when you tell them to leave, as long as you have the authority in your voice, the authority in your spirit, they can't come back. But that's just me. Beautiful and sketchy, exactly. So they are super sketchy. This dirt road, just them portals or the invitations, true. But so this dirt road that we lived on, it was named after my great grandfather. So it was like a family road. Only my family lived on there. So there's right when you turn on the dirt road, it's a split. So the dirt road splits into 2 dirt roads. And there's a church right here in the middle of the split, right? So you take a right onto the dirt road on the right, drive down about 400 feet, and our house is on the left, right behind the church, right? So in this church with this church is a family church. It's been, our family is buried there going all the way back to like the 1860s. It's an old church. And let me read Grind's messages here before I continue. All right, I'll tell you a scary story. Okay, so one time I was just chilling in my crib and my mouth was dry because I just woke up. So I drank my saliva and then I went downstairs to cook up some gourmet. And the gourmet thing I made was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I grabbed and I cut it into a triangle because I can't eat sandwiches if it's not cut into if it's not cut into a triangle.
Incoming ad break.
Then you went upstairs and watched Netflix and cried because the sandwich was so good. I get that. Oh, Brandon, your dog died? I am sorry about that, man. You've got to go? Hey, we're here for you. You know, I am sorry that your dog died. That's awful. And Grind, it's okay. I figured that you would. I know you get sidetracked by squirrels. Hello there, Jewel. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. ChatGPT joined my stream. That's over on TikTok. ChatGPT joined. That's crazy. I'm scared. Demon's over here sending all the crying emojis. Brandon, I hope you'll be back, man. I hope you'll be back. We're all with you. All right. So back to the scary stuff. All right. So my house, or our house, the house that my brother, sending extra hugs and hearts to everyone. Oh, Jewel, you are amazing. You're exactly, you belong here. You belong in the channel, with the channel, right along with everyone else. I appreciate it. And I know Brandon does too. So the house that we grew up in, me and my brother did, was right behind this church on the left, right? So it's, imagine it, the road is elevated.
Welcome, 1 Grognak.
Ooh, 1 a.m. Grognak with the Illuminati. That's Grind. That's Grind. Okay. He's just there for his own entertainment. So the road, the main road is elevated and our house sits down a hill, right? So in our yard, it is super dark during the night. And during the night, it's almost eerily quiet. Like, yeah, I know it's you on Twitch, Grind. I know it is. But it's eerily quiet, right? So during the nighttime, literally the only thing that sheds any kind of light whatsoever is the moon. Even the yard light in the yard sheds almost no light. It's like the darkness absorbs everything, right? So when you're outside in the middle of the night, you get this this feeling that you're being watched, and it's not like in a harmful way, not like in a it wants to hurt you way, but just as like you're a piece of meat way. Like it can prey on you. Oh man, come on. Campfire. Why are you doing this? Dead gum. Alright. Sorry. I don't pay for YouTube Premium. I mean Fireside Chat Premium. So the darkness just absorbs everything, right? And there's this feeling, this presence that makes you feel like yeah, you're a piece of meat, Grind. So there's this presence that just makes you feel like you're a piece of meat. Not that it wants to hurt you, or not that it wants to do bad things or anything like that, but just like you are its prey, or you can be its prey. You know? And Jewel, thanks for the emojis. The stream loves emojis. The more emojis you send, the more it rains on the channel. So, this house, no one lived on this land before we did, right? You are a human being, Grind. You are. So, no one lived on this land before we lived there. Ever, basically. Grind, man, I love you to death, but you keep getting me sidetracked. Alright, so, no one lived on this land forever, right? However, when we first moved in there, it was August of 1994. Yeah, August of 1994. Or no, I'm sorry, it was August of 1993. We moved in there. So 1993. First house on the property ever, right? That we're aware of anyway, ever. So we get the land cleared, get the house there. We grew up in a trailer. Don't laugh at us. We are trailer trash. So in the yard, a trailer sits higher, right? My dad builds this porch that you have to walk up onto to walk into the house. And my mom, we're sitting there one Saturday morning, and I remember my mom just looking outside, occasionally outside the front door. We had the door open, so the screen door, into the yard, and this was during the daytime. And I started looking out there, just trying to look when she was looking, and I didn't see anything. I never saw anything, right? Never caught anything in my eyesight. However, this one time, we were in the living room. It was me, my mom, and my brother. So it was me, my mom, and my brother, and I'll reply to that afterwards, Grind. It was me, my mom, and my brother. And I'm laying on the couch that's laying long ways facing the front door, so I'm just looking outside. I see a shadow walk between two pine trees in the front yard, just a person. You clearly see the stride and the legs, just a black mass. But when I go to look directly at it, it just disappears. It's not there anymore. And it's before it makes it to the other tree. It's one of those things that your eyes out of your peripheral catches movement. So you just focus in on it, right? So that was my first experience seeing the shadows in the front yard. After that, I saw them all the time. It got so bad that you could see them, not directly, but if you're looking out of the reflection. We had a stereo in the front, in the living room, one of those old home surround sound systems that came in a big glass case that's 4 foot tall. My dad was bougie. I'm just like him. So, out of the glass, you could see reflections of the shadows walking in the yard, and they wouldn't disappear when you're looking at the reflection. But if you go to look at them, they're gone. You could see them walking up the porch and then just disappearing once they get to the top step, right? And I'm 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, right? Very young. So, and it wasn't just my mother and me and my brother that saw them. My uncle came over one day while my dad was at work, and he was sitting on the couch talking to my mom, and he saw one of the shadows reflect on the porch, walking up the porch, in the reflection off of the stereo case. And he asked my mom about it. My mom was like, "Oh, it's normal. We see those things all the time." He never come back over there. For years, he wouldn't come back because of that. And the weird thing is he lived just right across the road from our house and never saw anything like that. So, I don't know if it was land thing or like an attachment to a person thing or anything like that, right? Is this story a metaphor for Louisianians that own BlackRock? No. You ain't no 6-year-old. I was 6 at one time. At one time I was 6, Grind. I know it's hard to imagine that people age, but that does happen every once in a while. So, Karina, thanks for liking the live. I really appreciate that. Over there on TikTok. Thank you so much. So, not only did the shadows happen all the time, right? So, fast forward, the year is 2000, my dad passes away. And the activity kind of steps up, right? Previously, before my dad passed away, I started having this recurring dream. And this is going to be important later on. But I started having this recurring dream about my baby brother, about my brother. And so in this dream, there's this man on a hat. Once I was 7 years old.
Welcome,
exactly.
Big Boy Jones 2029.
Hey there, Big Boy. We're talking about scary stories and vehicular. I think a message didn't go through again. It says one night after waking up, never seen it again. Unless that was a reply to where you had something yelling in your ear to wake you up. Yeah, we're telling scary stories, Big Boy. You pulled through. You come in clutch on that one, right, Grind? It didn't go through. I got you. Well, while you retype it, I'm going to continue on with the story real quick. So, this dream, this recurring dream, was, it took place in our original house, the original trailer's kitchen. And I'm at the kitchen table looking out the window, okay? Out the window is the backyard. This shadowy man with a wide brim hat comes up on a horse. For some reason, it's like a shadow horse. And he's got my baby brother in his arms, all right? And my heart just sinks in my stomach. I know something is terribly wrong in this dream. Something is, something just isn't right. That pit of your stomach feeling, And he just rides off, and I feel like a bit of me is torn away in the dream, right? So I wake up terrified, thinking that something has kidnapped my brother, right? And we were sleeping in bunk beds at the time, and my brother would get down into the bunk bed, into the bottom bunk with me, and he was right beside me, cold, spread eagle on the bed, because that's how he sleeps. So everything was fine. Now, just to speed things up, not make a long story, but fast forward 30 years basically. My brother now lives with me, and we were talking one night. This was just this year. We were talking one night, talking about scary things, just our childhood, and he tells me that he's seen the Hat Man, the same figure, and had dreams of the same figure since he was a kid. Neither one of us talked about this our entire adulthood up until that point, right? It's crazy, right? Stupid crazy. And we both still have these dreams, And it's crazy to think of how things are just intertwined like that. My dad, let's see. Yeah, I clutched up. That's why I'm good at clutching up in games, because I think this is for you, bro. That's kind of dark. And Jewel, I'm glad that you're just fitting right in. My dad used to have a Chucky doll he put outside my bedroom door. He put it on the chair, and let me scroll back up. One night after waking up, never seen it again. Dude, that would... I don't like those. I don't like dolls like that. I don't like that at all. You need popcorn for this? I told you, K-Ro, you better come with popcorn. You added too many veggies to the chili. You can't
Nice
do
to
that
meet
with chili,
you.
though.
I'm Jeff.
What veggies did you add? Hey, me and my brother we're precious. We're two peas in a pod. Except it's a different pod. And we're also not peas. But I do love my brother very dearly. Or else he wouldn't be living with me. He would be out on the street. I'm kidding, he wouldn't be that way. I'd never do him that way. But anyway. So, you know, there's that, right? And the shadow people. Right. Yeah, no. It's not burning down. It's safe. We had a house fire. So, we had a house fire a while ago, and you're hearing the ghost of that house fire in the chat right now. It's just letting us know that it's still hanging around. I get it, Vehicular. Like, those kinds of dolls. Personally speaking, I don't like dolls. Dolls are super scary to me. Scrappy school popcorn. Your mother-in-law is the awesome, like, she's awesome. $90 worth of popcorn. That is awesome. Have I seen Doll Island? Yes, I have watched several documentaries on Doll Island down in Mexico City. I have. I do listen to the Goo Goo Dolls all the time, but those are different kind of dolls. You know, like the Goo Goo Dolls, they just want to know my name. Or they don't want the world to see me because they don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, they just want to know who I am. You know? Exactly. Look you in the iris. Right. And eating stale popcorn. But they won't tell no one your name. Exactly. Goo Goo Gaga. Yeah, it's because Grind's not old enough to know who the Goo Goo Dolls are. It is. See, in dolls like that, like the story of Annabelle, if y'all know who Annabelle is, right? The story of Annabelle is so fascinating to me because it's just a Raggedy Ann doll, you know? How can something possess a Raggedy Ann doll? But how can something possess anything? I went fuzzy again. There we go. Thank you, Demon. I appreciate it. So, but you know, how can anyone, or how can
Incoming ad
anything
break.
get possessed? Is the question. I believe in possession. I do. Cairo, you don't know who the Goo Goo Dolls are? You need to come clean. I'm Diddy. I don't think you're Diddy, Grind. I don't think you are. Wait. Oh. Be good, Fire. Don't cause any mayhem. Exactly. Exactly. But no, it's just I'm playing it on YouTube, so when it needs its refresh, it lets me know, you know, for the ads. I just have to add more click time, basically. And Cairo, that's sad. The Goo Goo Dolls are... I like the Goo Goo Dolls. They're what I call your, well, I guess really your adult rock. Like they're from the late 90s, early 2000s, was big in the late 90s and early 2000s. And they just, it's one of those bands that just stays with you as an adult, you know? And Diddy did a bunch of stuff wrong, Grind. You grew up in Mexico? I know, but, you know, you still could have heard, you know, Goo Goo Dolls. Yes, cheer to everyone. Look at Jewel. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful that you popped in too. The rest of us are as well. And Cairo, that's okay. I won't hold it against you. And a pet rock, yeah, exactly. A pet rock stays with you forever. Until you try to play fetch with it, you know. It was a tiny village. I could have figured. I just didn't want to sound, you know. I was just trying to be respectful. And I don't know how to be respectful when talking about that because I'm ignorant of those types of situations, you know. His name is Larry. Grind grew up in Germany. The other day you said you grew up in Japan with your grandma. But guys, we're getting off track here. This is supposed to be spooky stuff. So, we're going to fast forward. I'm going to tell y'all some more stuff about my, unless someone else has spooky stuff. If we do, then please, I'll be more than happy to let you type it out, and we'll go from there. Or I can tell you some more stuff. I've got a lifetime of things I can talk about. The waiting is the hardest part. Waiting for somebody to reply. Ever heard of La Llorona? Yes, I have heard of La Llorona. So, Cairo, just a second. Are you telling me that you're the little orphan Annie vehicular? Lady La Llorona, if I'm not mistaken, is the lady in the white dress, right? Who haunts the highway? Or is La Llorona the one that's constantly looking for the children, Cairo? La Llorona. Yeah, excuse me. Oh, because of the double L, yeah, right. La Llorona, yep. The double L. Sorry, my bad. Spanish class was a long time ago. Yep, the children. That's what I thought. She was the one that comes for the children. Hide and seek champ. Orphan Annie was the hide and seek champ for a little bit. Then she got caught. Demon, I'm glad you hung out, man. Your bedtime's getting later and later thanks to me. Hey, have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. I had fun today with you. Hopefully, guys, just right quick, I don't know when we'll be home tomorrow, so my stream won't be at 12. But I'll try to stream when I get home. I just don't know when that'll be. Yeah, by any body of water. Yep. My wife and I have watched a lot of stuff on her. Well, we've watched a lot of stuff on... You're going to sleep too, Mr. Nice Guy. What in the... Oh, you work tomorrow. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to keep you up, man. Sleep tight, bro. Sweet dreams. And don't let the The La Llorona bite? Saitama's day off. Tell him to dream. Hey, Mr. Nice Guy. Dream of Cairo, okay? Sweet dreams of her. Okay? You're strapped. And the donkey lady. Always. Sweet. You're so sweet, bro. You're so sweet. So, guys, just right quick, I want to... Damn, it's scary. The donkey lady. What's the donkey lady? Oh. Dreaming of her would be scary. You're talking about if dreaming of Cairo? Or dreaming of me would be scary. I mean, if it's me, I could be the one you're looking for. Okay? Really, go on. Get out of here, you big baby. You're supposed to be going to sleep. But guys, I do want to continue on with the scary stuff right quick. So, fast forward. This is 2004. After my dad died, we get rid of our original trailer, right? And we move into another one. Still, it's just a double wide. Remember, we're trailer trash, you know. So 2004. Now, since this is a double wide, remember, everything that we were seeing in the original house was not in the house. It always was outside, be it the backyard or be it the front yard. All the shadow people and things like that was always outside, never in the house. So this double wide, the front half of the trailer is in the old, where the old house was, and then the back half is in the backyard. What was the backyard, basically. My bedroom was in the backyard. So was in what was the backyard. It was on the back half of the house, right? So basically, there was this one night, and this was like fall of 2004, something like that. And me and my mom had gone to town to go get groceries, and we come home, and my brother is scared in his bedroom. He said that while we were gone, something opened the front door, and he called for us. No one answered, and then something walked down the hallway, made no footsteps whatsoever, but you could see the shadow on the wall. So he comes out, he gets up, and he starts coming out of his bedroom. Whatever the thing is, you see it. He said that you could see it turn on the hallway, and then the front door closes, like slams, right? So he's thinking home intruder. There's no one outside, no vehicles, nothing like that.
How
right?
is everyone?
God dang it, Jeff. But there's no vehicles, nothing outside. So we get home, me and my mom do, and we talk to him. He tells us everything that happened. So later that night, my mom goes to bed. And she has a water bed at this point. And, you know, I don't know if you know what a waterbed is. It's a wonderful bed, wonderful invention, horrible contraption. It ruins everything. So she's laying in the waterbed. She's laying on her side. Something pushes her in the bed, in the waterbed, hard enough to make her roll over. Like, grabs her on the shoulder and just shoves her, right? So she wakes up, she comes to the living room, and at the same time that that's happening to her, I'm in my bedroom, and I was in the band at the time. I was still in school, and I was in the band at the time, and I had this music stand just a few feet from my bed because I'd been practicing my instrument, and I'd just fallen asleep. I've got the covers over me. I'm facing the wall, little twin size mattress. Something takes my music stand and throws it across the bedroom. Music goes everywhere. The music stand hits the stuff that's on my wall, my bookcase and stuff. I'm scared. Absolutely terrified, right? Because there's nothing there. Obviously, it's a black room. There's nothing there. And then this thing flies out, right? I get up. I go in the living room. My mom is chain smoking like a chimney. And I ask her, why are you up? What's going on? And this is when she tells me what happened to her just a few minutes ago. And I tell her what happened to me. And she says, Wayne, my dad, if this is you, you have to stop. You're scaring the kids. Everything tends to die down after that. Like, I don't think it was my dad, obviously, but things just tend to die down. We still get, or at the time of it happening, there was our front door, the doorknob would jiggle. And sometimes it would jiggle so much that the door would open. Now, the house wasn't level, so even if the door wasn't fully closed, it would still swing open because it wasn't level. So that was expected. But the doorknob would jiggle so much that it would come unlatched and then just naturally swing open. And it did that a lot, all the time, right? Stale popcorn for everyone. That could be Christmas gifts. So, after all of this excitement happens at night, we put a Christmas bell, just a decorational Christmas bell on the front doorknob. And the doorknob after that just stops. It doesn't jiggle anymore. It doesn't open anymore. The front door doesn't open. So it just magically stops. Now, this isn't suffice-of to say that everything stopped. We still had these, the shadows out in the front yard, or, randomly we would hear footsteps in the kitchen and there not be anyone there. Or sometimes you would hear the back door open and close in the laundry room. Just weird things like that. Like, it got to the point where we had to lock the back door. We live in the country. Not all the doors were locked always, but we had to lock the back door just to keep it closed, right? And it's just odd things happen like that, right? So, fast forward several years, our mom passes away. My brother is living by himself, and our dog, the dog that we grew up with, he's him and my brother's moved into my mom's old bedroom. And my brother says that one night the dog Lou woke him up like he needed to go outside, just barking. And the dog, Jordan, got up, opened the bedroom door, and the dog would not go out of the bedroom, just growling, viciously growling. Jordan said that he looked up, and it was down the hallway back to where our two old bedrooms were. And Jordan said that there was just these giant eyes looking at him from the back of the hallway. Like a black mass, giant eyes just looking at him from the back of the hallway. And Jordan said he shut the door, you know? And whatever was there was there. I believe that pets can see 100%. 100% I believe pets can see that. Welcome back, Kirsty. You missed most of the scary stuff, girl. You missed most of the scary stuff. But I'm glad that you're back. Thanks for coming back. So, stuff like that just happens. Now, you may think that I described, hey there, Lex, how's it going? You may think at the beginning of the story that I described the graveyard just as a side note, but it's not, right? So, growing up in the small town, we always heard stories of the graveyard being haunted. Personally, and I had been up there at all hours of the night, had never heard anything personally myself. Now, the wind, on the other hand, up there will carry noise. On that whole hillside, the wind carries... It sounds like sometimes people are talking to you on the wind. But you never specifically... Oh, Lex, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm not playing games tonight. We're telling spooky stories. But I really appreciate it. I love when you're here for my streams, Lex. So, Jordan, my brother, dated this girl one time who made a recording. You know, just something the kids do. Made a recording at the graveyard one night, asking your questions and stuff like that a normal ghost hunter would. And Jordan listened to the recording. Jordan listened to the recording, and you could hear like children laughing in the recording at the graveyard. 3 o'clock in the freaking morning, right? There ain't no goddamn children awake at 3 o'clock in the morning on that hillside. And if they are, they're out doing stuff that they shouldn't be. They're up to no good, you know? But sure is high. There's children laughing there, right? Yes, I love EVPs too. So, there's that. No, it's not, Poop Detective. It is not a furry pun. My username is a play on words. So back in the olden days of the internet, you used to not be able to put, crazy words as your user IDs and stuff. So my user ID is a play on word for naughty, like Naughty, naughty beast, and it's a play on words for naughty. Yeah, hey, don't say thank God. I know what kind of person you are, Poop Detective. I know you come here looking for stuff. And it's okay, we're all degenerates to a certain point. You take your usernames very seriously? I know. I know. So, on another side note, who is we? Girl, I say that collectively. We all rub off on each other, I'm just messing. But we all know what the Poop Detective came here for. An angel. I'm sure Mr. Nice Guy would say the same thing as well. But so my in the same area, like the same within like 2 to 3 miles of where I grew up at, I have family who there's a road that's named after my family last name. All right? So they owned a large swath of land. There was a plantation, and not like a plantation, but like a large farm. And my great grandparents worked it with their family, their brothers and sisters or whatnot. So This house burned down mysteriously. They don't know how it happened, but it mysteriously burned down. My last time I was here, I told you. I know you did. I remember. I just like to say things, Poop Detective. Don't look at me crazy. I do have a nice soul, and I appreciate your kind words. I do. I just like to say crazy things sometimes. I like to have fun too. We can't all be uptight all the time. And you can, if I offended you, you can take that sub away. You have that power and that right. And I know you're not trying to troll. It may have been me who was trying to troll, and I'm sorry. But back to the story. No. I don't think you're hating. Not at all. But, so back to the story. I remember growing up with my grandma. My grandma would tell me stories of her being, don't be that nice. But my grandma would tell me stories of her growing up on this road. The same road that this farm was on, right? So she would tell me stories of there being an old mill on the road. And in the summertime, you could hear old Civil War soldiers whistling Dixie. And you could even hear horses like click-clacking up and down the dirt road. And there not be any horses, right? She told me that in this house, that was my family's, my old family's, that, there's so many bots over there on Kick.
Dude, did you order
God,
a new iPhone 17 Pro?
always in the middle of a story, bro.
I never looked so good.
You look the same.
Like I need any help. There we go. So, this house, my grandmother told me that there was one night where she was asleep in the room with the rest of the girls, and this house was so old that it had fireplaces in each room for heat, right? So in the fireplace with the room where the girls were sleeping, there was voices coming out of the fireplace, and eyes started to light up the fireplace. It scared all of them. They all ran out of the room like crazy. He would have been my great grandfather. My great great grandfather came in there with the gun, thinking someone was in the house. There's nothing there. The voices aren't happening anymore. The eyes aren't in the fireplace. And then another story that she told from when she was a child was that her grandfather at the time, my great great grandfather, chased something out from under the house, and it was like it just had like a foot crawl space under the house, but chased something out from under the house, beating on the floorboards with his rifle. This thing come out of the back side of the house and come, like it was going out of the back porch. Didn't bust any stairs coming out. He thought it was a deer. Something was scratching on the floor. Thought it was a deer or something that got trapped under the house. But this thing, whatever it is, comes out from under the back porch and doesn't bust any stairs. It's like it just goes right through and then goes into the field. But there's nothing there. There's nothing that runs to the field. But she said that you could see the field, the corn in the field part from where it was running through the field. Scary. Terrifying, right? Or at least it gives me goosebumps. It gives me goosebumps. Because, and this brings me to what I was about to say about this road. On this road to this very day, you don't hear any animals. It's silent, like complete and utter silent, right? So in the middle of the night when you go down there, there's a hunting club on that road now that owns all the land. No one kills anything on this road. But you go down there in the middle of the night and roll the windows down, turn the vehicle off, and there's nothing. No wind blowing, no birds, no crickets, no cicadas, nothing. It's just silent. In an area where it shouldn't be silent at. Right? Oh, your granny just scared you? How'd that happen? And yeah, it is. It is vehicular. And yeah, Tektite, super eerie. Like, and I don't know, just the air feels different on that road. Like it's heavy. You forgot you had visitors. And then someone just walks in the kitchen. That would be horrible. That would be scary. How did you get here? Oh wait, I know you. Yeah, ominous and heavy, very much so, very much so. And guys, we're coming up on towards the end of the stream here in 3 minutes, but I've still got a ton of stories. I haven't even touched on like anything past 2012. So it feels thicker to walk through. Yeah, definitely it does. But guys, really, I have had a wonderful night just sitting here chatting with you, Cairo, telling Cairo's story and everything. I would love to do this again, maybe next Friday night if y'all wanted to. We can do this again. Hey, that is true. 7 days. It'll be the 31st. Well, whatever day Halloween is on. I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore. But we can do this next Friday night if y'all want to. Yeah, Poop Detective, I would appreciate that, man. You don't have to, not by any means, Poop, but if you wanted to, my Discord link is on my YouTube channel. My schedule is posted there as well to let you know when I go live. If you want to join the Discord, I would love to have you there. Most of us are there in the Discord. Some of us don't use Discord, so. And yes, next Friday night is Halloween. Thank you, Tektite, because I had forgotten what day Halloween was on. It's been a while since I was a kid. Yeah, man, definitely. Like I said, I don't, in this channel, I don't want to push you to do something that you don't want to do. I don't want to push you to subscribe or anything like that. So the only reason that I brought up the Discord was, because if you want to know the next time I'm live, it'll be in there. Now to watch a Disney movie. Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to go over here and with my wife, and we're going to watch something scary if she's not watching anything on TV. So we're going to look up scary stuff, because that's just how I like to spend time with her. But guys, it has been wonderful tonight. Like I said, tomorrow, good night, Cairo. Like I said, tomorrow, we're going to the Ren Fair, so I don't know exactly when I'll be live. But no, it's not that I'm trying to talk you out of it or anything, Poop Detective. My whole premise of the channel is I want you to be comfortable. So I don't want to pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do. Like you hear all of these YouTubers and TikTokers and stuff always going, subscribe, follow, do all this. Donate. I don't care about any of that. I want you to be comfortable. And if you have a good time, I feel like you'll subscribe on your own, I feel like you'll go looking for Discord or ask for anything else on your own. I don't want to push you to do anything. So I want you to just be you. I want you to be the person that you are. You know what I mean? It's not that I don't have confidence. It's just I don't want you to feel like you have to do something. So, but yeah, that's that. So, like I was saying, tomorrow I don't know exactly when I'll be live, but it'll be after we get home. So, yes, I'll have a good night, and I hope you have a good night too, Tech Tight. I hope all of you sleep tight. You know, don't let the spooky pookies bite. And this is great. I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Remember to think of Kim Jong-un. Exactly. The #1 ruler. Alright, y'all have a good night. See ya.